time for the Tag and Brando podcast. I know this up-tempo thing is not matching with our song now that I think about it.
That's fine.
Jazzy. So, welcome everybody. This is again the time that we are going to talk to each other, and you just get to listen in. So
this is the only time we talk to each other.
Well, I mean, we banter sometimes off pod, and sometimes that's the best stuff, and we're like, no.
That's right. We try to reserve it. We're like, I got things to say to you, but we'll wait.
It is weird sometimes where I'm like, we gotta wait. Yeah, we gotta wait to tell the story, or else it just doesn't get genuine. You know, you gotta like recreate it, and like you're like, oh no, what happened next?
Have you heard of this? Oh my, it was crazy.
Yeah, but we will get to that kind of stuff in the new last part of the show.
Yes.
But we're going to have a couple of sections before that. We're going to get some triggered memories. But first, today, we are exploring ourselves in the question of the day.
Oh.
A little bit.
Yes.
Taggart?
Yes.
Did your horoscope come to fruition today? That is the question. First, give us a little background. While I pull up your horoscope and we'll go over it, give us a little background of your history with the word fruition, if you would.
She'll never listen to this. So
she'd listen to this episode if she knew, but she's never listened to this.
So I had a friend at a time. We was hanging, and I used the word fruition, and she said, "This is not a word," and I said, "Yes."
And she's educated,
very smart,
lady
very smart person.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and didn't believe me, and I explained like what it meant and whatever, and she was like, "That's not a word." I had to look it up, and I think like if memory serves, we were in her house, and I went to her books and like found a dictionary and was like, "Here it is," and she was like, "Say who?" It was pretty funny.
So yeah, I mean, it is a great word. It bears fruit. Like Anyway,
absolutely.
So I'm on astrology.com.
Ooh, nice.
I figured this is the this would be a staple. This would be
top dog.
Top dog of horoscopes. And first question here is to choose your sign. So
yes.
You, sir, are a
Libra.
Okay, I'm going to click on it.
Libra.
Fill it in for you. I don't know how this works now that I'm looking at it. It looks like this is for... Yeah, it's a Wednesday today, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. So...
I'm already there.
Oh, you're on astrology.com. Okay.
I am.
Okay. I will read your horoscope to you, and you will tell... Please feel free to tell us if it has come to pass here.
All right. I'm interested.
Is it just this first paragraph here? Your leading lady is on the move today. Libra.
Like that's my name?
Yes, exactly. Your ruling planet, lover Venus, departs from education-hungry Gemini and moves forward into initiative-taking Cancer today. Sorry, that hyphen threw me way off.
Yeah.
This this transition puts you at the peak visibility with Cancer and...
No, with career.
Oh, with career. Wow. Maybe I can't read at all. With career and reputation matters. Now through June 27. It's the most ideal time of year for self-promotion. Venus's time in Cancer also increases emotional responses and nostalgic thinking. Any of that? Ringing any bells for you today?
What? I'm very confused about everything that just happened in this paragraph.
Yeah, so basically it gives us an idea of what planets are in your sign, right? Venus is leaving.
Right.
And moving from Gemini into your sign.
Into Cancer.
Right. And then that transition basically is giving you some peak visibility with your career and reputation. So like any career movements today, anything,
right,
something like that. And then most ideal for self-promotion. So basically, did you put yourself out there today, like career-wise?
No. I was at home all day today.
Okay.
Minus a short McDonald's run because my children wanted Happy's Meals.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, what about this last part here? Venus's time in Cancer also increases emotional responses and nostalgic thinking. How about that?
Sounds great. I don't think I touched on either of those really so much today. Gotcha. But maybe soon, since that's a very general time frame while Venus is in Cancer. So during that whole time frame,
you got till the 27th, man.
Right, during that time frame, I'm sure I'll have an emotional response and maybe think on something nostalgic.
Right.
That seems pretty plausible, if not 100% will happen at some point. So, nailed it, astrology.com. Nailed it.
Yeah. All right. You got all kinds of different things you can go for here. Dating. Your daily bonus is, hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. Cut yourself some slack. You're doing fine. So, that's nice to hear, right?
I really appreciate a website telling me that I'm doing fine and that I shouldn't be hard on myself today when... Again, I don't think I was quite in that mind state today, but thanks for the bonus.
All right. Should we kick over to mine here?
Yeah. Where are you at?
I'm in the Leo, the sign of the. Why am I not thinking of the word lion?
Lion.
I was thinking of like wolf. Dragon, tiger,
wolf,
there's a lot of other things out there.
It was like a wolf-cheetah hybrid.
Yeah, exactly. Which would kind of be a lion, I guess.
I guess.
Because it'd be fast, but it'd be like big and like, like work in a pack as opposed to like being like by itself. And anyway.
Right.
Yeah. All right. You want to read this out for me so I can...
Yes, okay. Here you go.
Picture my day here.
Enjoy this just immensely. Are you ready?
This picture is freaking me out, though.
Yeah.
Your picture was like a gray triangle with a pink circle in it and like some kind of pink field around. Mine is like the the Earth is got a camera, like the Earth,
right,
or a planet is holding a camera that is then taking a picture of a cat sitting on the sun.
Right, or in front of the sun.
Right. Like,
yeah.
Anyway.
Let's not dwell on it too hard.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
What do we got here?
So, for you, Leo, today, things haven't been perfectly pleasant behind closed doors, Leo.
Yikes. Okay.
You're doing some long-awaited heart-centered work that will pay off in the long run. Today's skies see you increasing your need for social withdrawal or bond building Venus slides into heartfelt cancer. Oh, excuse me, as bond building Venus slides into heartfelt cancer. Venus's presence here works to help you let go of self-sabotaging relationship issues and address many hidden skeletons in the intimacy closet. Now through the 27th of June.
Yikes, man, that got deep.
You're having a much harder time.
I know.
Mine was like, you might have an emotional response and or think of something nostalgic.
Or your job prospects.
Yeah.
You might want to talk to your boss.
Start self-promoting, you ladder climber.
Mine's like, you need to increase your social withdrawal and walk away from or let go of self-sabotaging relationship issues and hidden skeletons in the intimacy closet. Not just any closet.
Yeah, that's
the specific intimacy closet.
Pretty specific.
What the heckin' sticks is that? That has not been my day at all.
Oh, man, that's amazing. Well, I mean, you have through the 27th for any of these issues to come up. This is not very specific to the day.
I can't say today specifically that I did some long-awaited heart-centered work.
Uh-huh.
But this last week, I did quite a few things, and and so I mean,
do you think it'll pay off in the long run?
Ooh, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping at least through the 27th that I'm getting something here.
Good.
So, a little bit broader question here, Taggart. What has been like your experience, or anybody in your life that has given an astrology kind of like really held on? Ooh, wait, sorry, I got to get my daily bonus here.
Ooh, it's decent. Your daily bonus is way better than mine. It says, cherish your natural warmth. It is unique and powerful. It'll open many doors.
Oh, that is encouraging. I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
you might have some rough time, but you're unique.
Yeah.
You're unique, and it's powerful. And open doors.
So, ooh, man. Oh. I just got an ad for, what is it called? Ruby Red Squirt. So this website does know me. That is all right. Advertisement, you got me, Target. It takes me to a Target website where I can get my squirt.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What's been your experience, I guess, with astrology and psychics and any of that kind of extra stuff, ESP, if you will?
Not too much, really. I had a tarot reading once. It was non-solicited. Didn't really care for it. But it was interesting. I didn't put a lot of stock into it, but it was interesting. I haven't been around too many people who have been like hardcore into astrology. but living in Asia, my wife did get into the Chinese zodiac pretty hard.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And there is some interesting stuff there, and that, of course, isn't based on the month that you're born. It's based on the year that you're born, and it's a cycle of animals and stuff. Yeah, and so
okay,
that's we should see what you are.
What I am? Oh, I'm a rat.
You're what kind of rat? What year were you born?
84.
84.
Yeah.
All right.
There's specific rats.
So here's the thing. So not only are you, is it depending on the year that you're born? There's a cycle of that, but there's also a cycle of like, what do they call it? Like elements that affect your zodiac. So in 84, you are a wood rat.
That's like when I learned my Patronus was like a sparrow or something like that. I'm like, wow. Okay.
All right. So, but here you go. But this. Okay. Wood rat people may face relatively heavy work pressure in the first half of 2021. This is the zodiac.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
As long as they can insist on, they would have a large chance to achieve better results in career. In the second half of 2021, Rat Fortune prediction shows that they would obtain promotion chances. Say, huh? They should pay more attention to the interpersonal relationships and maintain the harmonious relationship with colleagues. It is advised to provide timely help when others encounter difficulties.
Well, that's just regular old advice.
That's just nice, right? That's just being a nice person.
Yeah, that's just being like a considerate worker.
That's right. There's more.
Okay, good.
They will obviously become more patient to deal with trivial matters in the year of 2021. Single wood rats will have a higher fortune in 2021. And can recognize some excellent people. According to this situation, they must keep calm and follow their hearts. As per Rat Fortune in 2021, the wealth situation won't be stable. Ooh.
Oh, what? Ouch.
They may face some temptation.
Not even, like, stable. Like, that sounds terrible.
I know.
Like, it's not like it's like it won't improve. It's like, it won't be stable. So it's like, so I'm going to get a lot of money and then no money and then a lot of...
Oh, listen. They may face some temptations this year. If they cannot stick to the bottom line, they will lose a lot of money.
Oh! Sell my crypto!
Most of them should keep the positive attitude and create wealth through their own hands.
Okay.
Only hardworking... I love this translation. Only hardworking can help them increase health and lead a better life.
Yes.
Rat people don't need to worry about their health.
Rat people?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Rat people don't need to worry about their health situation in 2021. In general, the physical fitness will be good. They should avoid challenging projects when joining in outdoor activities in order to reduce the risk.
So wait, I'm supposed to like my health is going to be good because I'm going to be a shut-in? Like, as long as you don't get out there, you should be fine.
Just say, don't be too challenging and you won't hurt yourself. That's all it's saying.
Right.
In daily life, some of them may pay more attention when they are driving. Or should pay more attention when they are driving.
Oh, that's probably true. I probably don't pay enough attention when I'm driving. That's bad for my health.
But here's
sit at home.
So here's the interesting thing. Let me read this and see what you think this matches up, because this is the personality traits of an 84 Chinese zodiac wood rat. All right.
Okay.
So people with Chinese zodiac wood or rat born in 84 are full of
wood.
No.
Ooh, can I be Splinter? Just call me Splinter.
Dude, that's exactly what this is.
Okay.
Full of intuition? What does this say?
Full of intuitiveness.
Skipping over it. Have great capabilities and are gifted with eloquence. Oh.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Cowabunga. I made another funny. Good stuff.
So, check this out. They like thinking. So they can
I'm a fan of thinking.
They can often find out the key to solve the problem accurately. They have strong moral responsibilities and advocate peace and hate the war. I don't know what specific war they're talking about.
No.
You hate it.
The war, man. The war.
The wood rat are able to handle everything in an orderly way, and their work attitude is meticulous. Excuse me.
Meticulous. Okay.
But they may be too subjective to accept criticism and guidance from others. If they can ask for advice...
I may be too subjective?
That's what it says.
Okay. I may be too subjective to accept criticism, and I don't accept that criticism at all. I don't think I'm too subjective.
There's some kernels here. If they can ask for advice modestly and make good use of their advantages, they will be more successful in their careers.
Okay.
Anyways, so that's the wood rat. So like this website, the travelchineseguide.com, is probably not the best place to go for this information, but the different element combined with your ratness, like, can change the way that, your personality is or whatever. So in case you were wondering, your lucky numbers are 3 and 5, and your lucky colors are blue and white. So there you go.
Oh, okay. Well then. So I will say this. I appreciate that. That was very enlightening on how I'm seen in the certain spectrum, if you will. So like my two real big experiences with like astrology and everything, just off the top of my head. One was there was this lady I worked with at my last job. She was a very level-headed, very very smart, very fun person to be a desk mate with. And she was, in her 50s and everything. But again, at least once a month, if something went wrong, she would be like, "Well, Mercury or Mars is in retrograde, so of course it's not gonna." Of course. And she was stone cold set on that, all the time. She said it all the time. It's just and she's like, "Oh, if something went down with the website, it's like, oh well, anything technology, it's like when Mars is in retrograde or whatever." And you're just like, really? Okay. And just she that's what she was all about.
Interesting.
But then the other thing was and this will probably become a wider story, but I went speed dating one time. And my goal prior to was to create a number of different personae to be with each individual girl, because I have had no faith in this speed dating process as a prospect of actually getting a date or anything like that. So I'm like, we're just going to have fun with this. And so one of mine that I couldn't really get as well as I wanted was going to be like, I was going to ask them their sign, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And no matter what they said, I would be like, ooh, okay, so, oh, you're a Virgo. Okay, well, I'm a Leo. I mean, Virgos and Leos, generally speaking, aren't supposed, it's not the best fit. But that's not really a big deal. Like, who really cares? And then ask them, like, their Chinese zodiac. And after asking, like, the Chinese zodiac, that same kind of thing. Like, ooh, okay, like, you're a horse, like I'm a rat, apparently a wood rat.
Uh-huh.
That's they don't really play well either. And I just couldn't really come up with a good third thing. And that's really was going to be the clincher, because I would have been like, whatever it is, like, what's your, your Myers-Briggs personality, or what's your favorite color? Like, there had to be something that, like, meant nothing, but compatibility is like an issue,
Right.
And so it was going to be like, you know what? 2 out of 3, I would have said, yeah, let's do this. 1 out of 3, I mean, you're really cute, and I would have said, like, sure, let's go for it. But like 0 out of 3, I just don't. It's just not in the stars, I just couldn't come up with that third thing that kind of carried that weight. So it was a little disappointing. I didn't get to use that particular personality, but I still had plenty more that I did get to use, and we'll save for another time.
Nice.
So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of crazy zodiacs. So wait, what are you as far as the Chinese zodiac?
I was trying to look it up, and my phone started to hate me, so you might have to look it up for me.
All right, what do I look? So
just look Chinese zodiac 81. And I'm a rooster.
But is it going to give me?
Yeah, it should.
Is it going to give me the personality or whatever? Or?
It should. If you.
The travel guide. Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
you can go to travel guide if you want the same one. Yeah.
So you are a Chinese zodiac metal rooster. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Metal rooster. Let's see here. According to the zodiac, water is Chinese 5 elements. Therefore, people born in this year are metal roosters. I don't know how that works. Really? Right. Lunar calendar. Yada yada yada. Let's see here. Personality traits. A person with the Chinese zodiac, born in 81, is have a clear and calm mind, a strong logical thinking ability.
Okay.
At the same time, they have a great perspective on things they like. They are very frank and never blame others behind their back.
Interesting. Okay.
Metal roosters are quick-witted, eloquent, good at argument, and very persuasive. They are also very diligent, capable, responsible, and disciplined. And they do not like idle people.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So how does that match up?
There was a couple of things I was like, oh, okay, and there was some other things I was like, oh,
that
I
makes
don't
me
know.
Feel bad.
Disciplined. I don't know.
Ooh,
but
this is, frankly speaking, married metal roosters like yourself will pay less attention to family life in 2021. No matter how busy they are, They should always set aside time for playing with their kids and chatting with their parents. It will be better if a family vocation is put on the agenda. So you need to get your family a job.
Interesting. Okay.
It definitely says vocation.
That is hilarious.
You need to put those kids to work so that you can spend more time with them because they're working with you.
Exactly. We need to make the money, kids. Let's get it going.
But at the same time, it says, at this age, people born in... Wait, what? At this age, people born in 2021 should avoid being a workaholic at the cost of health. So if you're... I don't know, sure what that means. Bear in mind that it is unwise to save time by skipping meals, Mr. Pizza, at 10 o'clock at night.
Thank you.
Being over anxious about minor problems at work. Otherwise, you may suffer from digestive disease or high blood pressure.
Yikes!
Man, watch out for that.
All right, yep, no issue there.
Okay, good.
Let that stress go. I'm fine.
All right. Good stuff. So, yeah, if you guys have any good horoscopes that have been fruitful for you, yeah, let us know. We're open to understanding this a little bit better.
There you go.
And let us know what your Chinese zodiac is, because I did not know. I learned something new today. That you're elemental at the same time as a somewhat random animal. So
exactly.
Tag, what's our memories gonna be doing today?
Well, I was thinking the other day, and I wanted to see if you had. Okay. Let me take a step back. So, okay. I was thinking the other day about how, like, I'm always trying to tell my kids things that I think will be impactful to them, and like help them learn stuff, and like maybe they'll think back and be like, my dad said this, and this is wise, and this is great. But it's when I look back at the things that people told me, it's sometimes less some of the more like throwaway things that people say that I like have latched onto as some kind of advice or something. So I wanted to see if you had anything like that, if you could remember anything that somebody told you, regardless of whether it was like meant to be advice or whether it was kind of like offhand and maybe a throwaway line or something, but that you come back to every now and then, or it like pops into your brain and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this, and for some reason it's impacted you.
Yeah, so one of the things that I learned in high school, basically, that I come back to a lot is one of my teachers said, it's not the smartest person isn't somebody who knows the most, but knows where to find the most answers. Basically. And I kind of think about that in two different ways, because if you're playing like a trivia game or something like that, you're not going to be able to look things up, right? You got to have certain things like ready to go off the top of your head. But at the same time, I really think you can research, and researching is its own skill set and needs to be kind of looked at as like yeah, like you need to know that you don't know everything, but you need to know where you can find it and stuff like that. Right. And so that's why I spend a lot of time in like the reference section and everything like that. Just because it's like, oh, well, if I know where to look and I know how to find it fast, then I might not need to memorize everything, kind of a thing. So, right. I definitely do draw back to that quite often, and that's given me kind of the understanding to make a lot of like lists and like especially with my job and everything, like I'll pretty much make my job to where I almost make myself obsolete, which is not great. but in most of the places that I've worked, like I've become the source of a lot of the information. And so I dig and I find out like why this is the way it is, or what is the background for this thing. And I've created like a database for other people to like go back and like and research and everything like that. So I'm like, nice. I mean, not comparing myself at all in wholly to this, but I'm like the Dewey Decimal System of a lot of the places I've worked, because it's like, okay, I know where everything is. Here's an easy way for you to get to what you need, right, and stuff like that. And so, so yeah, I think that's a lot of fun. Nice. What about you? What is your pearls of wisdom that have rattled around in your noggin?
It's interesting. The one that there's many, I think, but the one that I was thinking back to most recently was kind of one of these, like, what I think was probably like not like a throwaway statement, but like, you know, it was just like kind of a matter of fact thing. I don't know. So, and I don't even remember the exact way he said this or what our conversation was or anything like this. Mm-hmm. But it was me talking. So I was talking to this dude who was just like, you know, he was a parent when I was a child, right? And he had sons that were around my age. But he was one of those guys who I don't know. Anytime I would see him, he'd be like doing something active or doing something with his sons, and whatever. And so I must have asked him a question about it or whatever, and he was always a very happy guy. Like, I don't think I ever saw him ever upset or bad or like down, like, so happy guy. And so again, I don't know what I asked him, but he basically was just like, I just try not to grow up. Like, that was basically the sentiment of his statement. And again, I don't remember the words exactly, but like, or exactly how he said it, but sometimes that comes back to me and it often happens when I'm like, you know, get bogged down with like, you know, adulting things, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm not having enough fun. I'm like not doing enough fun stuff, not taking the time, which was, you know, was like one thing that horoscope kind of hit was like, you got to take some time, play with your kids, and like, don't worry so much about all this other stuff you got to get done. And that's weird because it's kind of one of the things that I've been thinking about. So, so yeah, that's the piece of advice. That's just kind of one of those that, again, like, I don't think he thought much of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think looking back, if I had been him, it would have just been something I said, not something I thought he's going to remember this and think about this for the rest of his life, kind of thing. You know, it wasn't
Right.
that kind of advice, I didn't think, but yeah, it's something that I always come back to. I'm like, I gotta, like, if I want to be, you know, you got to keep that spirit of child and fun and wonder and whatever. Throughout your life, or at least if you do, it's a good thing. So so there you go.
I think that's great, and I see it a lot too in, like you said, just even in parents interacting with their kids. You know,
right?
Like if you don't hold on to that a little bit, then you're not going to have fun with your kids.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm a dinosaur. And it's like, you're not a dinosaur. You're like, you know, you're the one ruining my carpet or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're like, a little boy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, Dad, you're an alien, and it's just like, okay, I'm an alien. It's like, if you can't like get into that like kind of headspace and stuff like that, it's like you're just gonna be boring. Your kids aren't, you know, doesn't matter if you spend time with your kids because they're not gonna want to spend time with you, kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I can definitely see that in certain aspects. It's like, that childlike wonder, always asking the question. You know, trying to learn stuff. That is definitely something from my grandpa that we talked about, is how he never stopped asking questions, even to when he was like, you know, all the way up until he was like 95, you know, and he had each of us as his, all of his grandkids kind of slated as different reserves of information. So he would call me for like anything like French or like, you know, scientific stuff. You know, my cousin who's a pilot, he would call and talk to him about anything like that. He would talk to my brother about certain like engineering things, and he would just like, if he had a question, he'd just call you up and he'd just talk to you for, it's not even like even that long. It would just be like a couple of minutes, and he's just like, okay, thanks. And it's like, well, Grandpa, I mean, you can look this stuff up on the internet. And he's like, yeah. Like, I mean, he just wanted to know, and he would just ask you and stuff like that. And it's just like, this is a man who just like, he doesn't want to stop learning. He has a question. Right. He just wants to find an answer. And I'm like, that is awesome. That is something I definitely want to hold on to, is just like, yeah, like, why not figure it out, you know? I'm not going to use the information.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to use it. I'm 80, 90, whatever, but why not just kind of know it from here on out? So, yeah, it's awesome. I'm trying to think. That's the funny thing is, I don't know if I've ever given good advice. Like you said, you know, like that guy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah.
He's not like sitting there like, man, this is a pearl of wisdom that this kid is going to be talking about on a podcast in however many years. He's just like, I don't know, I just don't grow up. Yeah, it's just whatever. Just offhand kind of something. Like,
well, yeah, and it's just interesting because you think like, well, what offhand things have I said at some point that somebody like took that and ran with it?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's times there were people that, you know, you said something and they're like, oh, okay, great, thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about it on the podcast before, but even from you yourself, like the thing that, one of the big things that I remember is just that, you know, when we were training running and stuff like that, and you passing people on the hill.
Uh-huh.
If anything, I think about that a lot in my own mind, just being like, you have to push yourself up this hill because, like, yeah, it's going to be way better at the end if you're, pushing than if you're slugging up this thing.
Right.
And even if there's not another person that you're, quote unquote, running against or passing or anything like that, it's just like, just push, train harder on the hills, and it'll make the whole thing easier in the long run. Literally in the long run.
Right. And that's just, keeping yourself motivated, really, Is that when it gets hard, rather than be like, bogged down, you're just like, well, just hit it a little harder,
Right.
Fight back a little bit more. And
it'll be over quicker if you go faster.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
Nice.
It's good advice. It's good stuff.
Thanks, man.
Oh, man. Ugh. What are we talking about next? What is...
Well, we got the new, yeah?
Yeah. Let's hit it. What is your new today?
Ooh, yeah, let me hit this for you. So, today was the day to re-level our trailer, our fifth wheel.
Okay. Yeah.
So our friend came out with his truck because we don't have a truck still. We can't take our house anywhere. It's stationary.
Right.
But we...
An immobile home.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But, and we got it and we leveled it in winter time. So we knew the ground would thaw, things would shift, and we would need to re-level her again, right? So now that it's summer, we were like, bring it out, let's get it done. And so he came out with his truck today, and we pulled all of the stuff around our trailer off. So like we had done a partial skirt and had wood all around it, and with insulation and stuff around the bottom, for the winter to keep it more toasty. So we pulled it off, and the jacks in the front that come down and lift it up were on these blocks, and the blocks had shifted so bad that we were mighty lucky that our actual jack stands didn't
just fall into the dirt,
or fall off and then break off and then shove the whole system up in through the floor into our bed.
Oh, wow.
Literally,
okay.
He was so that's probably what would have happened if it fell down. It would have crushed it up into the floor, crushed the whole system up into your bed. So, yay, that didn't happen. But
so
we could
help me picture this a little bit.
Yeah.
So how big are these blocks? So if it slipped off this block, it would fall before it hit the ground.
Yeah, so we had stacked. So they're like little Lego dudes, kind of. So there's you can buy these RV.
Those orange things or whatever.
Yeah, right. Little pads, basically, that you can put your jack stands on. Supposedly to distribute the weight and everything, in the surface area, blah, blah, blah. So when we had hooked it up, we had stacked them kind of high. We'd stacked up, I don't know, maybe six of those things high on either side or something like that.
And they're 3 inches each or 4 inches each, something like that?
Yeah, probably not that thick, but, maybe 2 inches.
Okay.
Or something like that.
All right. So a solid foot or so.
It's still a pretty good thing, right? But if the ground shifts, right, even a little bit, if it was one pad, then it wouldn't be off that much. But because it's a stack of pads, it shifts it pretty bad. And we're just lucky that, with that shift, that our jack stand, which is like an RV jack, they come out of the front of the RV. They're automated. You could use a switch to lower it and raise them up. But that those feet just didn't slip off of those things and fall into the dirt a foot, with all that weight.
Right, because that's what I'm trying to picture is like if you're jacking up a car and it falls off the jack without the tire on it, then it's just gonna fall straight onto basically the axle almost.
Right.
And so so that's the kind of thing. It's the whole weight of your trailer falling a foot is just gonna jack so much stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's all on one end of it, right? So it's like it's just a big
tip,
level, like bang. So, yay, we didn't die, and that didn't happen. So he came out, and so I've been out like all day. I got sunburn, yay. And so that's why I'm tired. I'm tired because we got out probably at 8 or 8:30 or something, and tore all the stuff off around the thing and moved it all out and just unhooked all the hoses and pushed, got all the slides in and all this stuff before he got there, shortly before 10. And so we did a lot of work before it, and then he got there and helped us out. It was only about a couple hours to get everything level and good. But, then I probably spent 3 or 4 more hours outside after that. Like, cleaning stuff up and making things look better again, because we had tore all that stuff out. And, so, yeah, man, it's a long day. But, I should say, we did the front, right, leveled that back, and we didn't stack them as high. We actually dug into the ground a little bit, leveled it out, and we did about 3 high, but they're about ground level. So even if they do shift and the thing falls, which it shouldn't, it'll just kind of slide off into the dirt, and it shouldn't be that big of a shift. But yeah, we didn't stack them as high because we didn't need to do that. And this should be way better. We also got 4 jack stands and actually put them on the 2 axles on either side for where our tires are. So because the ground's so soft and we're just on dirt, it was kind of a pain. We couldn't raise it up too high because with all that pressure, it would just dig the jack into the dirt.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Right, you got tons and tons of weight.
Yeah.
Right, so we didn't get the tires off the ground completely, but we did get the jack stands to. They're sharing the weight basically with the tire, which actually stabilizes the thing a ton. Like you just don't feel every movement from every person in the trailer so much anymore, and it feels a lot stabler when you're walking. More stable when you're walking around. It's not swaying side to side, and so, anyways, so that's what we did today, man. It was good, hard work. Me need sleepy, so
yes. No, that's awesome. And so let me just ask, is this a seasonal thing? Like, is this, you gotta do it as the ground hardens and softens and so on and so forth, or is it kind of set now?
We should still check it out probably in 6 months and see what's shifted, if anything has shifted or not, or if it has shifted, if it's a big deal or whatever. Just because we're not on a concrete pad and we're on this dirt, it still could shift some, and so we just need to be aware of it and check it out and
Right.
But as long as the front blocks don't like shift hardcore to one side, but stay fairly level, even if there's any sinking, as long as those things stay pretty level, we can do any leveling we need basically at this point without his help. He came to help us out mostly because just in case he needed to get it on the truck and relieve the pressure on those front stands, which we needed to because it was going to fall off. Like, we had to fix the blocks underneath it, right? But he was like, if it hadn't shifted that bad, then we wouldn't have had to do that. We could have just re-leveled with everything as it was, re-level the front and the kind of the sides and the back. So we can do most of that ourselves going forward, as long as the front jacks stay pretty level. So anyways, yeah. So we'll check it again in about 6 months and see where we're at, and or if we feel things shifting, like I'm pretty sure I'm leaning this way or that way, then we check it out. But
just put a ball in the middle of the room and see which way it goes. Exactly.
Well, it's so weird now because we were always tilted a little bit after we did it last time. It was always tilted a little bit to the back of the trailer. Okay. So we always slept slanted a little bit with our heads lower than our feet, and doors always would swing that way and stay open that way. And so I'm used to that. I've noticed already today, like, I'm used to the doors acting in a certain way, and now they're acting completely different because they don't have that slant, and it was annoying a couple times because I was like, why is this door coming back and swinging at me? Like, shouldn't it stay open? Because that's what I'm used to. So it's kind of weird because you don't usually go into a house and be like, things act differently in this house than last time I was here, because it doesn't obviously shift in the ground like that.
Right.
So
interesting. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
Glad you're on level ground.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. How about you, man? What's the new with you?
So I've learned a lot about envelopes in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
For some random reason, we've been sending out invitations for a reception. We have not sent a single invitation yet because, adding on top of, getting the dates and getting the travel and getting the venue and getting this and getting that and all that kind of bloody blue, you gotta invite people to come, right?
Sure.
And, as we've talked about, it's very much, you invite 10 times the amount of people that you really expect most of the time. It's a percentage that we used to come back to in our hanging days, where it's just like, all right, we're going to send out this text, or we're going to do this thing, we're going to send out the word of this party, and of the 40 people that hear about it, we're going to see 5 to 6 of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everything like that. So one of the big things is we got all the addresses from everything, and then we put it on Microsoft Word to merge the files, right? Or to merge the mailing and stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever done that, where it just auto-populates all of the addresses for you.
Oh, no, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice when it works. But, basically what we did is we ordered our invitations.
Uh-huh.
We received them, and we just went with the cheapo envelopes that, come with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we ordered them from, and I mean, I thought it was like a standard size invitation and then a standard envelope, but apparently this company really makes their money by making it slightly off, so that if you don't get them to print your envelopes, you're screwed. You're basically just screwed.
Okay.
Because, like, a lot of printer... it could just be our printer is just cheap enough to where it doesn't allow for that, but it just does not allow custom-sized envelopes to run through it. It will just make you select a specific one, and then when it feeds it through, it's like, this isn't the size you said, and just return nothing. So we spent all this time
oh my gosh,
designing these invitations. We got them, then we designed the how we wanted the envelopes to look, and where the addresses are going to go, and all that kind of different stuff. And then I created all the addresses in the mailing aspect and put it all and everything like that. And then all of a sudden it just is like, oh, these envelopes ain't gonna work. And we tried every setting on the printer, every setting on Word, and it just kept on spitting back like, I don't understand what you're trying to do. Stop. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Oh, man.
Except the really frustrating thing is, like, it printed one. Like,
what?
Mistakenly. Like I had, like, a couple of windows open or something. Like, a couple of Word documents open, and and the envelope was in there, and it came through, and it just printed our address, like, in the middle, like if we were going to mail it to ourselves. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry, that didn't... And that was, like, it's like, okay, that didn't work. And then every time we tried to put the envelope back through, or another envelope back through, it gave us an error. And I was like, how did you work once, and now you're not working at all? Like,
right.
why did it take it this time? Like, I didn't even set, like, a designation, and so I tried not setting a designation, and it was just this whole thing, and now it's like, okay, let's try A7, let's try A9, let's try this, let's try, and I'm like, and they just have their envelopes where it's just like, oh no, it is 4.23 inches by 7.59 inches, and you're like, oh! Like, what does that even mean?
That's messed up, dude. That's so annoying.
Yeah. So then the option was to either buy labels and print the addresses on labels, handwrite them, or using the same envelopes, or just buy new standard envelopes that are just going to be a little bit bigger that just fit the invitations and stuff. And we just decided to go with the cheaper option of just getting labels and just going from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But it was just like, oh my gosh, like, why can't you just be normal? Or why can't my printer understand? Fine, if this paper is not going to work, then I'm just going to print, and I'll print like where there's paper. You know what I mean?
Right.
But just the fact that one of them came through and it didn't, and the rest of them don't work is so maddening.
Yeah, dude, that's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how that would work.
Yeah, because the problem is, like, and I tried it so many different ways, and everything, but the problem is when you're running it through, like, the mailing menu, or however you want to call it, in Microsoft Word, it's like it very much limits, like, kind of the format and everything that you're working with, because it's like, okay, well, I'm going to make this like 100 different times with 100 different addresses. So, like, you need to fit this within these parameters, and part of that is the the size of the envelope,
Uh-huh.
and then I don't know how it communicated that initially to the printer to just say, just print it, just try it, just do it, whatever. And it just came through as like a test. And it's like, okay. And then when I finally went, okay, now copy paste that all the way down with everybody's individual address, it was like, then the printer started freaking out, like, I can't do this. I can't, man. Like, this. You want me to do this 100 times? I barely did it once, and I don't even know what it was doing. I need a size requirement. I can't.
Oh,
and
my
so
goodness.
Yeah. And then, like, another weird thing, even when I was trying to print the labels, it was like, okay, I want to see if this works, and we haven't filled up page 3, so just print page 3. So then, like, if all else fails, like, I'm not throwing away that many labels or something. And it just wouldn't print, like, it would send the command to the printer, but then the printer wouldn't do anything. And I'm like, what the crap? And then I'm like, fine, print all the pages. And it's just like, okay. And then it just prints them all fine. And I'm like, what? Like, I print, a single page all the time, Like, why is this not working? Yeah, it was very
weird.
Very weird. So now we just have a bunch of labels that we gotta slap on, and it's not gonna look that pretty, but keep an eye out for that.
Cool. I will do, man.
Yeah.
I will do, especially now that I know all the hard work you put into those envelopes.
I know,
we'll treasure it forever.
Yeah, it's so crazy ridiculous how random that is in general.
Yeah.
But
so weird.
Where most people, it's like, oh, well, I'll just, like, it's like, just send me a text or, Facebook invite or something like that. It's just like,
right.
No, this is for all the older generation that needs a hard copy to put on their fridge or in your case, your parents' filing cabinet for...
Right. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of which, my mom just found our wedding announcement and she hung it up.
Yeah.
Again.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Oh, good stuff. That is our show for today.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Yep. We are going to be recording our beginning of the end to get that out on our Patreon. So jump on there if you want to hear that first episode of a show and our review of the very last episode of the show, having not seen anything in between it. It's fun. So, we're enjoying it, and I hope you come and listen and enjoy it as well with us on Patreon. Yep. All right, everybody. Jack's got to get to bed, so good night. Good night. Bye.